Hi everyone, Nikki here, back with a brand new video. My last video, Tips for Dating an INTJ, went up only a few days ago, but I wanted to do a part 2 for INTJs who are interested in dating. We INTJs also have to put in the work if we want a relationship to work, and we have to take accountability in the fact that we INTJs are so guarded and so cautious that it can make any personality type feel frustrated with us. And we have the tendency to reject rules being placed on us and reject expectations being placed on us while doing that to people at the same time. I view it as I don't view myself as above or under anyone, but I do view myself out on an island in my own world, if you will, where I'm still very much rooted in reality, but in an objective sense. Like I'm walking through an art gallery, so not particularly involved, but observing. But then I meet someone and I put them on the island with me, and now they're standing beside me. I respect them and I love them and I give them my time and I give them my attention. But then they do something. Something as small as reading something on Twitter and believing it without looking up the facts, to something as big as having jealousy problems. And suddenly my mind switches and they're no longer on that island with me. I put them back with everybody else, where everybody else exists. And that's not fair. And we have to take accountability of the fact that we put expectations on people, and yet we reject expectations being put on us. We expect certain things from the people in our lives, and that is a very human thing. But it's important that we take accountability for that and that we recognize our tendency to do that. And it shouldn't be a war getting to know somebody on a romantic level. So it can be really hard getting to know someone and finding people that have the level of patience it requires to truly get to know an INTJ. We just have to remember that if we don't want expectations put on us, if we don't want rules put on us, we really shouldn't be doing that to other people. If we want to be accepted, then we need to accept other people exactly for who they are, or else a relationship will never work. Because there's never going to be anybody on this planet that will 110% fit our standards. Humans are flawed, chaotic, predictable, and contradictory. Even we INTJs are not immune to that. So that's the best advice I could think of to give to my fellow INTJs. That's something that I'm personally guilty of, where it's not that I idealize someone or I build them up to be something in my head. It's that I tend to think that if I came to this conclusion, if I had the ability to learn this, then everybody has the ability to do this. And if I'm dating someone and I say something and they can't follow, they can't understand, they're not interested, they blow me off, they downplay my feelings. Well, all of those are very human things. Everybody's done that every now and again. And yet, for us INTJs, that's just very difficult for us and a very easy way to hurt our feelings. But when an INTJ gets their feelings hurt or we feel betrayed, we just shut off and we shut down and we kick that person off our island. And while I do feel that nobody should settle when it comes to anything, but especially when it comes to relationships, that we INTJs do have to remember we have to also put forth work, that we also have to try, that we can be open and honest and authentic about who we are and not reject somebody for who they are because it's different from who we are. So, three of my friends have responded with dating advice. I haven't read it, so it could be general dating advice or it could be advice specifically for me, but they are all different personality types. So, I thought it would be interesting just to see their perspectives. This first friend is an INFP, and he said, continue using your gut feeling when taking on new relationships, but also recognize that relationships require risks. Allow enough risk to get to know someone enough that you can really let your INTJ intuition do its thing. It's a feeling out process. A bunch of emojis. And then he added on, also never be afraid to consult those you trust. They usually have good perspectives from different angles. That's very good advice. I often felt like I was being paranoid or that there was something wrong with me because I would just get feelings about someone. I could just tell that that person was cheating on a friend or, without any evidence. And it's not like a psychic thing because it's just reading body signs and, protectiveness of their phone, disappearing for long hours. Like it shouldn't take 2 hours to grab something from the store. Things like that, that all just add up into me having the conclusion that I do. But I always felt like there was something wrong with me and that I just had commitment issues when really the whole time it was just me picking up something from somebody that alarmed me. And we INTJs definitely do have to listen to that. This next friend I've had for 16 years. She is an ESFJ and we are entirely different, so I'm interested to see what she had to say. She said, I don't want this to be about me, but in my experience, the moment that I stopped looking for love, it happened naturally and it feels the most real. You know what you want and you shouldn't settle ever. That's what a lot of people do when they don't feel their lives are being fulfilled the way they think it should and end up in a loveless relationship. Just keep focusing on your dreams and goals in life, and when it's right, it'll happen for you. You are beyond too special not to. Emojis. Hope this is okay. Oh, darling, it's perfect. Especially knowing what she's gone through, which is falling in and out of superficial love, getting in relationships that are only skin deep, and being heartbroken and very much injured by them. Um, and she's definitely right. I think all of us INTJs would agree that you shouldn't settle. But I will say, I have never looked for love or relationships, like not once. I've never thought I want to be in a relationship. And that's not an INTJ thing, that's a me thing, and maybe I'll do a video about it in the future. Um, but I do think it does take a certain level of open-mindedness. So while we shouldn't, so while looking for love can definitely blind you, you also can't be closed off to it. This next friend is an ISTJ. We are essentially the same person and have a lot of the same opinions. We've never disagreed, honestly, about anything. I can tell you already that, unlike my other two friends, hers is very structured. Uh, she has pretty much bullet points. So, this first one is titled Dating Tips. Personal opinion is dating is not the same as being in a relationship. Make sure what definition of dating you and the other person have. Let loose. Dating is supposed to be fun. If you develop true feelings and want it to turn into a relationship, awesome. Otherwise, enjoy getting to know others and don't take things too seriously. I will say before I move on that that's very much my perspective as well. No shocker there. That dating and relationships are two different things and they're often considered the same thing. But for me, you can be dating someone and not be in a serious relationship with them. So it's always good to talk to somebody and make that distinction. Relationship advice from a married ISTJ. If you never argue, that's not a perfect relationship. That's suspicious as crap. It means someone or both someones are hiding something. Either way, it's a version of toxic. On the flip side, always fighting is just as toxic and no better. Also, personal opinion, a major fight can determine if you're ready for the next big step in a relationship, whether that be engagement, moving in, kids, etc. If it breaks you, how would you and your partner survive a lifetime together? If it makes you become stronger, then that's a great foundation to build on. Never settle because Never settle because you don't think you'll find someone who fits what you actually want. On the flip side, don't have unrealistic standards that no one could ever live up to. Don't let your past hold you back from having a happy future. The douche from back in the day. I need a second. Oh my god. The douche from back in the day is hopefully not the person you're currently with. Give your current partner a chance to show who they are and how they aren't your ex. Make sure you are both on the same page with your future finances, kids, lifestyle, etc., prior to taking that next step to foreverment. Oh, wow. Wow, we really are pretty much the same person. I agree with everything all three of my friends said. Um, but much like what my last friend said, don't settle, but don't have such high expectations that nobody can ever meet it because then it's just unrealistic. I felt it was only fair to do a part two to my tips to dating an INTJ, but this time for INTJs who are dating, because it is very much a two-way street and we are not perfect by any means. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.